Hello, my name is Hasib Ahmed and this is my task 3 of the Sparks internship program. So in this task we have to perform the exploratory data analysis on the sample superstore dataset, and as a business manager we will try to find out the weak areas where we can work to make more profit, and also we will look for all the business problems that can be derived by exploring this dataset. So initially I have imported the essential libraries which I'll be using to have the exploratory data analysis for this dataset. I have loaded my dataset from the CSV file into the pandas data frame, and I have displayed the first 5 rows of my dataset. From the shape of the dataset, we can see that we have 9,994 rows and 13 columns in our data. We can have the concise summary of our data, from which we can see that we have categorical data as well as some numerical data in different columns. We can also see the statistical summary for the columns which are having the numerical data. So these are the 5 columns which are having the numerical data, and this is their statistical summary. Now we will look for any missing values. So fortunately our data set does not contain any missing values. That's good. Now we will check for the duplicated rows in our data set. So yes, we have 17 rows which are having duplicate values, so we will remove these rows. Now you can see that the number of rows are reduced, so the duplicated rows are removed from our data. From this unique method, we can see that the number of unique elements in each of the columns. As you can see that we have 4 different shipment modes, 4 different options for the shipment modes, and 3 segments. And since we are just considering the United States, so we are just considering one country and 49 states of that country. We can remove the irrelevant columns. So here I won't be using postal code to draw the insights from this column to so I will remove the postal code column from my data set. So after removing, I have these columns remaining. Now these are the 12 columns. So now we can check the statistical relation between various rows and columns by correlation and covariance. Basically, correlation is when the change in one variable results in the change in another variable, and covariance is when 2 variables vary with each other. So these are the values for the correlation and covariance. Now comes the most important part, that is data visualization. So initially I have plotted the pair plot from the Seaborn library, but as you can see that we are having the scatter plot for every other relation, and the relation which is in the diagonal we are getting the binomial distribution curves. But alone from this pair plot we can draw the meaningful insights from the for the data. So for that reason I will be using more visualization. So I have plotted the heat map here for the correlation between the features. The best correlation is around the value 1, which shows the perfect positive correlation, as in the case of this diagonal values. And as you can see that there is some positive correlation for the sales and profit values. If we have more sales, we will be generating more profit, and if we have generated more profit, that would be obviously because of more sales. From this pie chart for the categories, we can see that the office supplies have the highest demand, followed by the furniture, and technology is that category which is having least demand. From this profit sales bar chart, we can see that although we have high values for sales in this category for the furniture, but the profit generated by this furniture category is very less as compared to other two categories. Now from this bar graph, we can see that the consumer segment, in each of this category, the consumer segment, which is the home office shown in the green bars, is basically the least purchase, like the office segment has the least purchases in each of the category. So this is our weak area. We have to focus on the home office and corporate segments as well, because in each of the categories that the consumer segment is having high values, which is good, but we also have to consider and focus on these two categories, these two segments, which is the corporate and home office in each of the category, to increase the sales and profit. From this bar chart for the sales and profit in the subcategory, we can see that there are three weak points in a data. The category, which is a subcategory in which we are having weak points, is that tables, supplies, and bookcases, because for all other subcategories we are having some profit, but here we are going in loss, and for tables we are facing the highest loss. So these are the three weak areas on which we have to work. Now if we see the count of the state-wise shipments, the California is the state which is having the highest purchases, highest shipments, followed by the New York and Texas. And there are few states like North Dakota, Wyoming, and West Virginia where there are very less or no sales at all. So we have to focus these areas as well. And what we can do further is that where we have more potential customers like Texas and New York, we can focus or concentrate more on these states as well. Now we can see that there are at least sales in the southern region from this bar chart. The southern region is the region in which we have very less sales. That could be from, like, there could be a different policy for the Texas by the government. Maybe that's why people are not purchasing much from the southern region. So it could be any reason. So we have to focus on the southern region as well to increase our sales in this region to generate more profit. So this is the profit and region bar chart. You can see that this was the sales. This was for the sales in different regions, and now this bar chart is for the profit generated in each region. So we can see that the highest profit is in the west region, followed by the east, and the least profit generated is in the central region. And yes, southern region is also having less profit. So we have to focus on these states, these regions as well, to increase our sales and to generate more profit. From this interdependency for sales, profits, and discounts, we can see that if this is the regions which is having more sales, like in this graph, that we can say that when we are giving discount between the range 2 like 20% and 30%, we are generating more profit. And if we give less discount, we are going a loss. from this line plot we can see we can see that how much profit we could give to our customers to be in a profitable range. So as we can see from this graph that so okay, here is the zero value, so it's like less than 25%. If we give less than 25% discounts on various items, so we would be in a profitable range. So this is the safe range, 25% discount to be in a profitable range. So we can draw conclusion from this exploratory data analysis that we could limit the sales of the furniture and increase the sales of the office supplies and technology, as the furniture is generating very less profit as compared to its sales. So we could focus more on the other categories like office supplies and technology, where we can generate more profit. So in the subcategories, we are facing huge loss on the sales of tables. So its sales should be minimized, because that's the subcategory where we are facing loss. And of course, no store wants to face loss in any of the categories. So we have to minimize this the sales of the tables. The sales and profit in the southern and central region are less, as so we should give more incentives to these states, we could give more discounts to these states to increase the sales, and hence our profit will increase. So after the highest sales in the California, we have the value for the high value of potential customers in the Texas and New York. So we should focus on these states as well to generate more profit. And we have the highest purchase in the consumer segment, which is going really well. But along with this segment, we have to also concentrate on the corporate and home office segments as well, as they can generate more profits. So there are also few states like North Dakota and Wyoming and West Virginia where there are very less or no sales at all. So we have to capture these markets as well, so that our sales could grow there and we can generate profit in these states as well. And the percentage discounts which could be offered to be in the safe range, in the safe profitable range, is around 25%. So these are the conclusions this is the conclusion which I have made from the exploratory data analysis of this dataset. So thank you so much, and stay tuned for more exciting tasks coming ahead. Thank you.